It's been a day since the Xbox showcase, and I still can't believe this is happening. The boys are back. We're getting a new Gears of War game, a prequel, with Marcus Phoenix and Dom Santiago. It's a good time to be a fan of the series. What's up? It's your boy Dynasty back with that Gears of War E-Day goodness. Get used to that because I'll be covering everything I can get my hands on when it comes to this game. Now, since the last video about Gears of War E-Day, if you missed it, essentially we got an Xbox article, an Xbox Wire breaking down a lot of information about when the game's taking place. We have it confirmed now. It's taking place 14 years before the event of Gears of War 1. They talk a lot about the tone of the game, getting back to the roots of it all. Dark, gritty, serious, spooky. The drones actually carrying weight and not just being fodder. Yeah. If you missed me talk about that yesterday, I'll have a card on the screen right now because it was like a 23-minute breakdown of that article. It gives us a bunch of juicy Gears of War E-Day information. Now, since then, we got a few things to discuss, including confirmation of where, in fact, the story of Gears of War E-Day is going to take place. And also, this one's kind of a big deal. Confirmation that despite the direction they were going with Gears 5 and the open world elements, that Gears of War E-Day is going to be a linear story, just like we saw in previous installments and, you know, not the DLC for Gears. So I am so stoked to know that, again, they've been saying and echoing they're going back to their roots. A linear story is going to be awesome. Again, in this article, it also pretty much echoes everything we talked about in that Xbox Wire. Some small snippets of information I think worthy of noting. And also, there's been a lot of controversy about this trailer. People like Jeff Keighley were writing off this trailer as nothing more but just CG and that it's not going to look this good when it gets released. And thankfully, the Coalition has pretty much shot that shit down and confirmed that everything we're seeing here are assets actually used in-game, which pretty much confirms this game is going to be beautiful. And again, if you watched my video from yesterday in that Xbox Wire article breaking down essentially everything we knew at the time and pretty much for the most part still know about this game, they mentioned how they want to actually push the limits of the tech as well, just like Gears of War 1 did back in 2006. So no brainer, right, that this is actual in-game assets, but for some reason people were trying to just talk all that shit, and I'm just glad Coalition was coming out punching and being like, you guys are wrong. These are literally assets we're using in games. So we'll be breaking all that stuff down today. I know I keep talking, but I gotta set it up for you guys. I'm so excited. I'm telling you, this has been a breath of fresh air to me. In my life, I've not been this happy in a long time. And Mortal Kombat 1 got announced, I was happy, but dude, this is my life. This is the reason why I make YouTube videos. This console, this game, this changed everything for me growing up. So like I said, I'll be covering everything Gears of War E-Day as much as I can from now until launch and post-launch. Massive thank you to everybody who's showing support on me coming back to my roots. Drop a like if you can. I love you. I love this franchise, and let's get hyped, boys. Gears of fucking War. This ain't no Gears. This is Gears of War. Let me share with you guys all the new information that dropped today. First things first, a massive shout out to GameFile.com for actually sharing this article a couple hours ago. Sadly, it's behind a paywall. I think it's like $10 to actually read the full thing, but since then, people have actually managed to pay that. I tried to subscribe to this for some reason through the app and it didn't let me. So maybe you guys will have better luck than me, maybe off of the website, but I'll have this article linked down below. And again, this is the source for confirmation that you can see right here in the title. New Gears of War game will be somber, linear, and very detailed. A chat with the Coalition regarding their surprise prequel. Again, this is by Steven Totillo. Shout out to him. Now let's get into the article. It says here, an iconic commercial for 2008's Gears of War is heavily influencing the direction of Microsoft's newly revealed surprise video game prequel, Gears of War E-Day. Again, this was everything echoed in the Xbox Wire article we talked about yesterday. If you're still on the fence because you don't like the recent Gears games, I get it, but guys, come on. We keep getting this given to us. It says, that ad paired footage of the dark, gritty Xbox 360 sci-fi combat game with a sorrowful cover of Tears for Fears' Mad World. That combo, unusual for game trailers that tended to be more upbeat and aggressive, moved players at the time. The commercial became a classic example of so-called sadvertising. And again, that Mad World commercial changed my life. Chances are, if you're watching this, it changed your life. You can watch it to this day and it hits just as hard. It's timeless. The ad was arguably more somber than anything in the actual Gears of War game, though franchise sequels have had enough desperate firefights and shocking deaths that it's become a Gears brand identity. We miss you, Dom. We miss you, Ty. We miss you, Karma. The list goes on and on and on. Gears franchise director Nicole Fawcett, who again gave us all the information that Xbox Wire article says here, reinforced that in a behind closed doors group interview I attended in LA on Sunday afternoon. So again, last night this happened. This article was posted today. If you want to check out the full thing, link down below. She shared what Gears development studio The Coalition says fans have communicated as the core elements of the fucking series. The brutality of Gears, the sadness kind of melancholy vibe. It wouldn't be Gears if it wasn't over the top kind of an action spectacle. Never fight alone. A vibe born from the series' co-op modes. It is also a slogan the Coalition uses in conjunction with an ongoing pledge to donate 1% of the franchise revenue to orgs that work on suicide prevention and loneliness. Bro, I fucking love this game. I love this franchise. I love what they stand for. Goes on to say, and what of the new game itself? An adventure set in the city of Kelowna. Here's what I got. Again, check out the full article if you can somehow manage to pay for it. I think it's like $10, but confirmation through various other websites about that information behind the paywall. But I do think you guys should support Steven Totillo because he got the behind the scenes. Echoing the exact same thing I just said, the guys over at GamingBolt.com posted this article earlier today. Gears of War E-Day will be linear, set in the city of Kelowna. Unlike Gears 5, which experimented with semi-open world areas, E-Day is going to be an entirely linear experience. It goes on to say, the Gears of War franchise is one of the flag bearers of linear gaming experiences and always has been since its inception. Facts, don't change it like you did with Halo. Though 2019's Gears 5, it started experimenting with semi-open world gameplay. Most assumed that the series would continue building on those newly laid foundations, something that the developer Coalition also suggested shortly after Gears 5 came out. Last year, in fact, leaks claimed that the series' next installment was going to be even more open-ended. It turns out, however, that's not going to be the case. Speaking with GameFile, franchise director Nicole Fawcett revealed that the recently revealed Gears of War E-Day is going to be an entirely linear game, which means it won't be building on Gears 5's semi-open world experiments. A few more details were also revealed, such as the fact the game is going to be set in the city of Kelowna, which, interestingly enough, the Coalition intends to rip apart using Unreal Engine 5 tech. I don't think that was mentioned in the preview of the last article, so again, they'll be channeling their inner Battlefield Bad Company and blowing it all up. We are going to see cities get destroyed. I'm intrigued to see how the Hammer of Dawn gets introduced, if that'll be destroying cities, these emergence holes. We're going to see probably just fucking skyscrapers fall down, bridges fall down. It's going to be insane. The Locusts are coming back. They're coming back with a vengeance. If there was ever a time, right, to take advantage of modern tech, to showcase the fall of civilization to these creatures, these monsters under our bed, this is the perfect time. The tech is here, and they'll be using it to push the limit. Again, that was echoed in the Xbox Wire article. It's being echoed again in this behind-the-scenes interview they had of Fawcett. I'm so excited to see what they have in store for us. Fawcett also echoed that sentiment when talking with Xbox Wire, stating that Gears of War E-Day is going to be a really modern take, which I'm seeing in the comment section. That quote scaring some of you guys. I understand that, but I think you should be optimistic. I think they heard enough of the constructive criticism over the past few installments. I think we'll be okay. On its familiar protagonists, who are going to be a lot more vulnerable than they've previously portrayed as. They are a lot more vulnerable, and I think that's a really modern take on those two characters, Fawcett said, Marcus and Dom. There's a weight they carry between them, and that creates a really interesting tension as they navigate their own relationship. You have this intimate story set amid the wider backdrop of what's going on and happening on this apocalyptic day. I think for fans, it'll be really compelling to dig deep and explore their bond and how that changes over time. Again, a lot of this stuff was talked about in my video from yesterday. Click the card, go watch it. Now, in regards to the controversy of the trailer, this is from Game Rant. It says, Gears of War E-Day's gorgeous trailer isn't just CG, it used assets that players will see in the final game, Unreal Engine 5 assets that'll make it into the finished game. The article goes on to say, Gears of War E-Day debuted at last night's Xbox Game Showcase with a gorgeous and very shadowy trailer that showed perennial beefcake Marcus Phoenix beating down Locust in a prequel setting, but despite looking like a snazzy CG advertisement, the trailer supposedly uses assets ripped straight from the game. The Gears of War E-Day trailer was created by Blur Studio, the animation house that previously produced amazing CGI cutscenes for multiple Halo games, which led many comments online claiming the trailer was totally computer-generated. Xbox Marketing's director, Guy Welch, then jumped onto social media to clear things up. The trailer is developed with in-game models, textures, environments, and props that the players will see in the final game. This follows the same method that we used for the Gears of War trailers for the first 3 games, which were made in Unreal Engine with in-game assets, only this time, the team's using Unreal Engine 5. Hamir Blanco, a cinematic character artist at Blizzard, then chimed in to explain that saying it was a CG from Blur Studio diminishes all the technical achievements you probably didn't notice from how good it was. Though it looks like another pre-rendered CG piece from Blur, it was actually a real-time masterpiece using in-game assets and ray traced lighting in the same engine the game will play. And again, Jeff Keighley, host of the Game Awards, host of Summer Game Fest, was one of those people trying to essentially backhanded compliment the game. And again, this was just going viral yesterday. A lot of people were chiming in, like I mentioned, Xbox people, Blizzard people. I'm pretty sure I saw Coalition people also clarifying this because Jeff Keighley came out and was just like, just another CG trailer. But thankfully, everybody's got the gears back and they were defending this. So yeah, what you see is what you'll be getting when this game releases in 2025, 2026, sometime soon. But boy, does it look beautiful. So guys, there you go. That's everything of note that's been revealed over the past 24 hours since my last couple Gears of War E-Day videos. It's taking place in Kelowna, 14 years before the beginning events of Gears of War 1. This is Marcus's first fight against the Locust ever. If you look closely, some might say this is how Marcus gets his scar. I know the comic says different, but if you look closely, it's pretty neat. Marcus gets actually scarred on this, so that's pretty dope. Again, linear story mode, linear gameplay. It seems like it won't be open world, which is exciting according to those articles. I'm really hyped to get my hands on this game. Again, we don't know when it's dropping, but boy, just look at how beautiful this is. The game will look just as good as this. If you're not hyped, I can kind of understand why, but I think you're doing it a service to yourself and the Coalition. If you enjoyed the video, do me a solid, takes you a second, drop a like out, of course, subscribe for some more Gears E-Day content like this on the channel. Till next time, I've been your host, been Dynasty. Guys, please take care, stay safe. Gears of War's back. I'm sorry if I talk a lot. I could talk about this franchise for hours. Bear with me, please. I'm just really happy, dude. I am so happy. I love this fucking franchise, and I can't believe this. Wow. I love you. Peace.
Yeah. Living on it crack, but I'm not superstitious.